Well, you don't see that every day. Hey everybody, me and Joe Boo have come out for a little spot of moto camping. I figured we'd talk about the bike a little bit. In most videos, and even in my last one, I talked about how good it was and all that stuff. But in this video, I think we're going to talk about how bad it is. What's wrong with Royal Enfield? Why do I keep getting comments from people saying they're crap or they're slow or whatever? Let's look at the real story here, and we'll look in close at this bike, at the fit and finish and things like that, and we'll see what's what as to whether they're crap or worth buying. While Joe Boo replies to you guys' comments on my last video, I'll go ahead and talk about one of the things that's the biggest problem with the modern Royal Enfield bikes, and that is the electrical components. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it at all. They are cheap crap. And it pains me to watch them do this, because this is one of the things that caused the British motorcycle industry to go under, because they gained a reputation for being unreliable, where the Japanese were able to come out with more reliable bikes. And even their electronics supplier had the nickname Prince of Darkness for a reason. And to see, the modern Royal Enfields using cheap electrical components causing reliability issues is a bad thing. They've already got a reputation. They're trying to overcome their old reputation and present themselves as being more reliable, but nothing shoots themselves in the foot worse than using cheap crap like that and causing people problems. I haven't experienced it, but plenty of people have. And the amount of, the few rupees they might be saving by using these less expensive components, to me, is more expensive than the loss in reputation that they will get from using cheap crap like that. The relays are actually not too bad. You got to do a little bit of cleaning and things like that. And there are better versions that we can just directly swap and solve that problem. But we shouldn't have to. And people that don't know about it, all they know is their bike broke down and Royal Enfield must be crap. And so that's kind of the reputation that they end up with by doing things like that. That is on the company, and that's something they could fix for on the cheap. And it might raise the price of the bike up $30 to $50 or something. And I think everybody would be willing to pay that if they would actually fix this stuff. I mean, I don't care about like this year's models, the new models, they put alloy wheels on it. I don't care. Fix the electronic crap first and then do things like that, in my opinion. That's what they should be doing.
Stop it!
Another area where they're cheaping out is like vent hoses, rubber parts like that. Fuel lines and things like that seem to be really good, but it looks like they cheaped out on like the vent hoses and things like that because they just want to crack and just break and disintegrate over time. Some people have reported the fork boots doing that, and I've actually seen my cap on my brake light switch starting to crack and disintegrate. And so that's another cheap component. The Himalayan did it really bad. So just a few oddball, rubber components. Some of them are good, some of them are just crap. Bolts is another issue, and I kind of hate to say this one because it's not unique to Royal Enfield. They're not the only ones using like zinc plated bolts and things like that. All the big Japanese brands and Triumph, all of them, everybody seems to do it. Even my Toyota car has them on it. So I hate to say that one, but it's true. Strange things can also be afoot with your speedometer cable. I don't know if they had a supply issue or something was going on where I've seen them put the wrong model cable on the bike, where it's just been so tight that the over travel on the forks would just cause it to yank out. Other people have reported various quality issues and things like that, but that's another thing to keep an eye on. I don't know what was going on with them with that. And while I did mention in the last video how the quality level of some of the parts isn't the greatest, and it's kind of one of them things that's it's hard to describe. It's not that they're bad, anything like that. It's just whatever part is required to be there, it's there. You need a clutch lever? There you go. You got a clutch lever. It's not a great clutch lever. It's not machined, it's not polished, it's not adjustable, but it's a clutch lever. Same goes for the brake lever. I mean, just everything is kind of in that fashion. You got what you need to be there to operate the bike, but they didn't really like go out of their way to make it nice or anything like that, if that makes any sense. And that's one of the things that does keep the cost down on the bikes. Some of those pieces are okay, some of them you got a little bit of an issue with. And some things are actually all right. If we look at this shifter lever, this is a cast unit. And it's not bad. I mean, I'm sure it's cast out of some cheap alloy of some sort, painted to match kind of the engine and everything, but it's not terrible. But if we come around to the other side and take a look at this brake lever.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the f is that?
That is a stamped piece of sheet metal, and you can't get any cheaper than that. That is the lowest form of making something that could be used as a brake lever that I can think of. That is really, really cheap right there. But there is a little bit of a silver lining here. At least GT owners got a cast shifter. Interceptor owners got stamped sheet metal on both sides. Their shifter is a piece of stamped steel. But then again, Interceptor owners get to take a little bit of solace knowing that the upcoming Super Meteor, that is the most fugly thing I've ever seen, and that is completely cheaped out. It is nothing but stamped steel sticking right out in your face. And that is one ugly foot control setup. For this one, I hope the camera will really pick it up, and I hope there isn't too much dirt in the way. But you can see my reflection there on the trim ring of the headlight. It's not terrible. If we go around to the headlight bucket, holy crap, is that some seriously poorly finished chrome. Another area I've seen a lot of people complain about and do a lot of videos on is the bare aluminum engine casings and even the valve cover. The deal is, those are going to corrode. Any manufacturer that puts bare aluminum engine casings and valve covers on their bike, it's up to the owner to take care of that stuff. So people getting mad that they got corrosion on here, or even their shock towers, anything with raw aluminum, you've got to protect that stuff. You've got to maintain it. If you're not willing to do that, buy the painted engine. All right, I'm gonna have to get on the bike for this one. Because another oddball thing is the location of the side stand. You can't get to it because the foot peg is in the way. So you have to kick the foot peg up out of the way, reach down, grab it, and then swing it around. Interceptor owners and Super Meteor owners won't have that problem, as I believe they all use the same kickstand. But it's just the placement of the pegs and everything on this one makes it weird to operate. Now the last thing I'm going to bitch about on this bike is the fuel cap. Now while I think this is one of the best looking fuel caps on any bike right now, I just think it's gorgeous. The implementation's a little bit odd, and we got to figure out ways to get around it. Because if you open a fuel cap, you have to use the key and remove the whole thing from the bike. So when we're getting gas, what do we do with the fuel cap? I don't want to lay it on my seat. I don't want to get gas on my seat. I don't want to put it on top of the gas pump because it's covered in dead bugs and dust. So where do you put it? What I did was I went and bought a key ring that has a loop on it, and I just loop it over my brake lever like so, and that's what I do with my gas cap when I'm getting gas. If you've got an oddball solution to that problem, let me know. I want to hear everybody else's workarounds for that issue. Well, the sun is going down. Me and Joe Boo have busted out the cigars and the rum and cokes. We're going to kick back and enjoy it. Temperature has dropped really quickly. I had to bust out the puffy. Hopefully I don't freeze to death tonight. here where I live, it seems to get, summer is really long and winter is really long, but spring and fall are really short. So it goes from really hot summer to within like a week or so, bam, it's freaking cold. It's gonna get down in the 30s tonight. Hope I make it, and I'll catch you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed me bitching about stuff on a bike. I'll catch you next time. Well, it's morning and it's cold. So I decided to make some coffee, and I didn't bring any cooking equipment other than my stove and my canteen cup because there's a snack bar down at the bottom of the hill for this campground that I'm at. But I got up and started making coffee. I realized I don't have anything to stir my coffee. So I ended up pulling a tent peg out of the ground and cleaning it up. Gotta improvise, folks. Good times. Good times. Just a word on this campground that I'm at. This is the Glen Maury Park campground in Buena Vista, Virginia. And I've never actually camped here, even though I live in Buena Vista. It's always been just too close to home. So I decided to try it out just to see what I thought. And the campground is really nice. The facilities are good. It's got a little snack bar. People are friendly. All that. But you won't get a good night's sleep here. The reason for that is because there's a factory just a few hundred yards away. All night I was woken up by the sound of forklifts dumping hoppers of scrap steel into metal dumpsters. A very loud noise all night. And then on top of that, 4 trains came through here, blaring their horns because there's an intersection down there. And just 4 times a night, I was awoken to just loud train horns going off. And so I did not get a good night's sleep. So if you're looking for a place to stop and rest and get a good night's sleep, this isn't it. It's pretty, facilities are nice, people are great. It's just not in a good spot as far as what's around it. Factories and trades will keep you up. So don't come here looking for a good night's sleep.